Hello and welcome to Denver Crafting Post. My name is Diane and I work with resin and lasers. Please consider subscribing to my channel to help me grow. Thank you for being here and I hope you enjoy. Hello, I am Diane from Denver Crafting Post. So today I have a little bit of a Valentine's Day theme for you. I have about a 9-inch druzy mold that is edged in hearts, and the interior is all druzy. I have another heart that has kind of like a rock edge, and then inside there's a little strip that's a druzy. And the last thing that I have for you today is, sorry, my sconces just went out, so the lighting changed. Sorry, but the last thing I have is angel plant sticks. They're a fonduit mold, but I saw them. I thought, wow, those would be really pretty in my plants because I can make them the color for my house, which is somewhat blue tones. And then I could stick them in my plants for some decorations, and they're angels, and they're 3 angels. So I'm looking forward to making those, as well as the 2 heart mold trays and like a coaster. So if you would like to stick around to watch, please do so. And if you can subscribe if you haven't already done so to help my channel grow, since I am very new. And then also, if you can like it, if it interests you, please like. And then also, if you can leave a comment, any suggestions are welcomed. Or if you have any ideas or anything to help me along the way, I would appreciate it. So I hope you watch, and we'll see you at Demold. Thank you so much, and let's get to it. Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be pouring some different molds. I have not seen these molds poured yet, and in honor of the upcoming Valentine's Day, I was rummaging through all of my molds and I found these ones. So here's a fonduit mold with angels containing 3 different ones. Probably gonna pour these in like a clear and a sparkly glitter. So that'll be one of the molds. Another one of the molds is this one, a druzy mold, and then it's got the heart rim. I'm thinking to do this in the red hearts, and then try and swirl red and white with some glitter in that one. So I'm going to be doing those 2 molds, and then if I have any leftovers, I do have the hearts that I can pour into for Valentine's Day. Okay, so the first mold I'm going to make are these angel molds. I'm planning on using them in my potted flowers. That's just like little sticks and decorations. These molds, it does say, let me find it here, 45 grams for this first one, another 45 grams for the second one, and then 55 grams for the third one. Because it is such an intricate mold, I do want to use a 2-to-1 resin and let it sit overnight. The 2-to-1 is a very watery, very low viscosity resin. So I have chosen to use the iCrystal, which is a 2-to-1 by Resin Pro. So I mixed up 180 total. I know I'm going to have some leftovers, but I would like to pour some hearts for Valentine's Day. I mixed in 2 drops of the Fluids Alcohol ink from Octopus, 2 plum drops, and then I have the Pinata color, and then I have the Baja Blue. It is looking a little purple, so I'm going to add a little bit more blue. I'm going to add 2 more drops and see what happens with that. My colors in my house are a teal color, any color of teal or a slate blue. So I'm trying to go for that color. Even though I don't want these opaque, I do want them translucent. I still was hoping to get that little bit of a translucent tealish color. Let me pull this over. And then it's a little dark in here, but it's not very dark when you have a thin thin layer of it. And that's all I really wanted, was just a thin layer. And then I am going to add some Renfro Ultrafine, and it says colorful white. I don't have a label on it, so I wrote it on there, but I'm going to use some colorful white. I'm going to scoop some up. Do one. Let's just go two. Let's make it glittery. They are angels. I like these nice wide bottles of glitter. So much easier to scoop out the glitter. And you can see, hopefully you can see all the different colors in there. And I am, with my angels, I do like the glitter to drop wherever it might, you know, randomly drop to. So I'm not worried about putting in glue. And they are just plant sticks, so not too worried about it. I'm also not going to run it through the bubble machine because, like I said, this is a 2-to-1. It is low viscosity, so it will take a while to demold and to really set up. So this glitter will fall. Hopefully it will fall in various places. I thought I had a paper towel, but I guess I don't. Oh, I mixed up 180 total, and that was 120 of part A and 60 of part B. Okay, so let me slide this over here, and then I will go ahead and pour this. Make sure that you can see it all. I'm going to pour it up from a little bit high. I don't want to spray the mold either with the the alcohol. I've heard mixed reviews on whether it will ruin the mold or not. I don't use the molds that much, but with the 2-to-1, I don't think that I am going to have to worry about it. So I'll just pour it up high, and pouring it up high makes a thin stream, so it kind of pops those bubbles automatically for you. So I'm just going to slowly pour this in. The color is just perfect for my house. And I love making angels. Now that I'm going on the wings, I wish I would have dusted it with a sparkly like a sparkly mica powder. But that's okay. Next time. Okay, so I had 180, and let me see how much this one took. Let me brush this down. 180, and I have 140 left. So that only took 40. Let me see if I can get a little bit more in to dome it. And that is all I'm going to be able to do. Okay, so that's 140. So that was 40. 40 grams. Okay, let's move on to the second one. It says 45 grams, but we shall see. That first one is pretty much domed. If I put any more in, it's going to run over. And by domed, I mean, you know, when you pour a cup of soda or even pour a beer, you get the head of the beer, or on the soda, you get all those bubbles. Well, when you pour too much, those bubbles go above the edge of your glass, but miraculously, they don't spill over. That's what doming is. You want it to go just slightly above the edge of your mold without spilling over. The problem comes when you do spill it over, then it creates a leak. And then you've got to try and stop that leak, find out where it was spilling over from, and then stop that leak. And let me do the last one. Oops. Thank goodness that was up higher because that all ran down. Otherwise it would have completely ran over. My hand got heavy pouring this. I am already in love with this color. All right, just a little bit more, and I will check to see how we are domed. All right, and it looks like we are domed. I'm just gonna check all of them and make sure that they are domed. When you dome them, the resin does shrink up. See, I got a leak, so that is too much. So let me get a little bit out of here. Just clean this up. And if you get too much, you can soak a paper towel in it, and the paper towel will go ahead and absorb some, so you can get it out that way, which is what I'm doing. I'm just getting a little bit on the paper towel. And then cleaning it up. Let's see. I think I stopped it. I just need to clean up all these little pieces so that when I demold, I don't have a bunch of little crackles. I don't know what they're called, but touch in between there. Okay. And I lifted the floodgates, but we will get it taken care of. Okay. That is why you don't want to overdome them. So now, since I have let's see, about 22 I'm sorry, 2 ounces left. Let me look for a bigger mold to pour that. All right, keeping on the theme of hearts and for Valentine's Day, I found this other mold. Beautiful mold from Solar Art Studio. Not sure where I found it, but I'm going to put this bottom layer. Doesn't have to go as thick as the mold, and since I don't have enough to fill it all in, I will do maybe a couple different layers on this one. So let me put this up in there. And it's got some druzy spots on the bottom. And then I am going to get my glitter spatula, since I do have some glitter in here. All right, and that is about all that I can conjure up from this cup. Okay, so we have that one. I am going to push that aside because next what I'm going to be doing is this heart one. And then I will be doing that in the red hearts on the outside. It does have a lip for each heart, so you can pour each heart a different color if you want to without having to worry about it blending in. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the red hearts in. And then in the center, I'm going to try and do like a marble. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up probably about 6 ounces, and I will be right back. All right, so as I'm mixing up my resin, I want to use the Resin Expressions, and this one is Roxanne. Nice color red, but however, since it's been a while since I've used anything, it's pretty solid. So they say to put it in the microwave, so I am going to stick this in the microwave probably for about 5 or 10 seconds. Since I've never done it before, we shall see. So this was 10 seconds, and it's getting a little better. So I am going to do it for probably another 10 seconds. Okay, that looks a lot better. Went from a solid to a liquid. So I did 20 seconds in the microwave and it completely fixed it. This is, I can't tell how many ounces that it is. So depending on how many ounces that you have will depend on how much you'll have to heat it up in the microwave if it does go solid. All right, so the red is okay now. Let me take a look at the white. There's my all right, so let's take a look at it. All right, I'm going to heat this up. It's not solid, so I will just do it for 10 seconds after I get all of this foil off. Otherwise, it's going to pop my microwave. So I will be right back when I get all the foil off. Okay, I did go ahead and heat this up. So now it's a nice mixture for the paste. And I'm only going to use a little bit of the white because I don't want it taking away from the red. And again, this is the 2-to-1 resin, so I'm not going to worry about going through the bubble remover or anything like that. And with all these druzy edges, you're not going to be able to see any bubbles anyway. So just a little bit of the white. Got white all over me now. There we go. Nice opaque white. I kind of scrape the flat part of the white against the side of the cup to get that paste that was on there. I don't like doing it at the top because then your resin is not touching the top. So what I do is I kind of squeeze the paper cups in half, kind of wipe it off halfway, because then you can get more of the paste and wipe it into the resin. But just to make sure I don't have any extra paste, I'll go ahead and clean off my stick and then give it one last mix. And see, it is pretty opaque. See how watery this is? So the center will probably change colors, but that is okay. And because I don't know how much I'm going to need for the hearts, I am going to do some at a time, because if I need to use this in my pink heart that I've already poured, I don't want red in there. So let's see how much this will make. Again, I want this nice and opaque. I'll squeeze it halfway through. Kind of wipe off that paste that I had on the stick.
One more mix. And see, if you wipe it up top, you get that mess up top. If you fold it in half, you don't really get it that bad. Okay, so let me go ahead and pour some of these hearts and see how much more red we're gonna need. Well, big mistake there. I did not want it going over that way. So, oops, oopsie daisies. So I'm just gonna get some alcohol, spray it, and then wipe that out. And since there's going to be red in here, I'm not too concerned. With it being absolutely clean. But I'll try my best. Okay, I'm going to pour this way so I can see where it is flowing to. It's maybe about a half an ounce. A little less than a half an ounce each for these hearts. All right, we're going to switch back this way. Just wants to drip down that side. And do another peek, so that we don't have that mistake again. That was a terrible mistake. And I hope I have enough for them all. All right, and I do. Perfect. And I do have a little bit left over. So I don't need any more red. Let me close him up. And close up the white as well while I'm at it. And set him aside. I am going to pour some of these hearts from pouring your heart out. Okay, let's see how many I can do. I love these hearts because they're nice and rounded. They make nice little pocket hearts. I don't have enough for this one, but I will with the white. this rest of the red out. I know, I'm sorry you can't see this. Just want to make sure I use every last drop of that. Oh, and it did fill up all the way. Good. Good, 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 good. Probably can use a little bit more. So I'll probably drizzle a little bit of white. Not white, clear. Since I have some here. Just to dome it just a little bit. And same with this one. Just so it domes a little bit. All right, perfect. Okay, and I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is, with this leftover clear, I am going to pour it in this one. The reason being is because when I pour the center here, I would still have to do a top coat because these hearts are higher. So if I do this all, once these hearts cure tomorrow, and I do the red, the white mixture in the center, I can go over top of these hearts. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pour this extra in here. Okay, so I am done for tonight. I'll let this go ahead and set. Clean up my leaking that I do see over there, and then I will be back to tomorrow to finish off this. I'll probably put a backing on this one, and we should be good to go. So we will see you back in just a few seconds. Hello, I am back for day 2. I had my plant sticks ready for demold. My heart coaster just needs a backing on it. I'm not sure what color I'm going to do yet on here. And then right now I'm going to work on my heart edge druzy tray. I did pour 8 ounces. I'm not sure how much it's going to take, but I have 2 ounces that I'm going to use for the Mayspring Dazzling Diamond, and then I have another 2 ounces that I will use for the Pearly White Luster. I'm sorry, Pearl White Luster, and that is a paste. And then I will use the Resin Expressions, the Rock Sand, which is, look how beautiful that red is. It's a very bright, Christmassy red. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and get this mixed up. This beautiful, sparkly, almost like a diamond dust. I'm going to put a lot in here because I do want it sparkly, even though you're not going to see it. It may cover over top of the hearts if there's enough resin, so I do want on top of the hearts to have some glitter on it, so I'm just using it just in case. You know, with the druzy mold, you usually don't see the glitter through it because the druzy is so sparkly itself. And I see all this glitter flying through the air right now. So nice. Why is there a glob on my stick? Make sure I get that mixed up since there was a glob on my stick of the glitter glitter dust there. Okay, so that's 2 ounces of that. Then I'm going to use a little bit of white. Again, I've got to make sure it's mixed. And then I'm only going to use what is on my stick. Maybe just a little bit more. And see how that comes out. Right now it's milky. And try and get some off. I bend my cup in half and kind of wipe off the side to get some of the paste. See how the paste is on the stick? There's really no way to get the ending of the paste off. And then I don't like using the top of the cup, because if you do that, then your paste sits up top, and then it's sometimes hard to get off the top. So I always kind of, if I have a paper cup, it's like you're squashing on the edge of the cup to try and get some of the paste off. All right, so I do want a little bit more. So I will go ahead and clean off my stick. Make sure I don't have any resin on it whenever I put it back in my paste, because I don't want anything curing on it. All right, let's get this mixed up. See how much better this is. I do want it opaque. I am going to be putting glue in here and kind of marbling it. I know you don't need glue, but I don't want my red to take over and have it pink, because I do not want pink in the center with the red hearts. There we go. I'm trying to go for the red, and then with the white and some of the glitter. Okay. Let me wipe this off. Make sure there's no paste on that. And then I am going to do 4 ounces of the red. I do believe I'm going to need more, but I didn't want to overdo it because I really don't have anything that I need to do for red, so I didn't want to do too much. Do too much red and then not have anything to pour it with. Again, this is 4 ounces. I'm using the same resin. I have a little bit in a jug, so I was trying to finish it off. And I am using the iCrystal. It's a 2-to-1 resin. So I only have a little bit left, so I'm trying to finish this one off. I'm in no hurry. It's just gonna sit overnight, so no hurry. So I figured I'd try and use up this resin. I used my first bottle of Let's Resin on my last pour, and I was using this a while ago, but I just have that little bit left, so I will pour this so I can get rid of that bottle. Okay, and even though this is not as opaque as my hearts, that is okay. It's still a very vibrant red, and I do want it to be see-through if it can be. If it comes out that way, that would not bother me in the slightest. Now I know I only have the paste at the very tip, so I'll just clean it off there. All right, let me grab my glue. And I'm going to put 4 drops of the glue in since there's 4 ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1 and 2, and then 2 in the glitter, 1 and 2. Like I said, I don't really need to since it is flat. However, I do not want my colors running. So I am going to try this. It is nice and gloopy. Gloopy globs. Okay. One thing that's nice about putting glue in is it cleans your stick off a little nicer when you're having to clean it off. Let's do the glitter one. And when you are using the glue, it does make your resin cure a little faster. Not like it's gonna flash cure or anything like that, but it does cure it faster. I don't know what the scientific reason is, or you know, is it half the time? I have absolutely no idea, but I do know that I'm shocked when I come back to check on it that it's already cured. Okay, so those are nice. See, watch that. That is so cool. And then it's like goop. There's a big old sludge there. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but yuck. Don't know what happened with that, so let's not get that in my piece. Okay, now how am I going to pour this? I think I'm just going to chuck it all in, and whatever happens happens. I am going to pour this into a paper cup just so that I could squeeze it. Do a little bit at a time so I don't have too much in there. So I'm just going to try. I'm going to do the center first. Just in case. Oh, I will have plenty. All right, so I don't have, it's not that high on the edges from the hearts. And I am going to put a toothpick because I do see this side is running a little high on that part. Don't know why. Maybe it's because of how I poured it. And then I am just gonna pull this into my other hearts. And you won't see it behind the hearts. Because they're opaque. But I do want it to kind of look uniform with the glitter. So I'm just trying to pull some glitter over to the tips of these hearts. And it'll move somewhat, so not too concerned. All right, so that took a lot less. So I did use almost 2 ounces of the white, probably about 1 ounce of the glitter. We'll put some over here. And I have, let me see how much red I have. I might have to go pull. Might have to go pull a mold for this red. Looks were deceiving on this mold because it was so wide. I thought that I would need more, but apparently I don't. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I pulled out for some extras. I pulled out these bows that I could put the glitter in. Let's make really cute bows. And then I got this mold, not sure where, either Temu or Amazon, but it looks like he's got flowers all over him. And then he's got his centerpiece, so you could stick some little flowers or whatever you want, a little sign or something inside. Mine's a little off, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna go ahead and pour it. Don't know if I'll have enough red. If I don't, what I will do is I will go ahead and mix up some more if I need it. So let's see what we got in this one. I'm gonna pour some of it and then kind of coat it. So that we get out the bubbles, since there is glue. I don't know if you could see, but it filled in quite nicely on the ears. But I still want to squeeze them because I don't want any holes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it to kind of coat everything that's in there. He's got a big huge heart on the front of him. I'm just taking my time so I don't drip it out. Okay. And I will need more. I don't necessarily have to clean this out sparkling clean, but I do want to get the most of it out. If I'm using the same color and the same resin, I don't worry about wasting another cup as long as I'm within like the same kind of time frame, so that it doesn't jeopardize like the curing and stuff. But I'll just clean it out just a little bit. It doesn't have to be sparkling clean. And he is about 2/3 of the way up. That was 4 ounces. So I'm just gonna, since it's wider on the bottom, I'm gonna mix up another 4 ounces. All right, so I found this little flower mold. I'm gonna spray it. So first off, I don't know if my camera was running or not. I don't think it filmed. So I'm not sure what I got, so I'm going to take this in sections. I did fill up my floral teddy bear. I filled up my bows here with the remaining glitter. And now I have just over 2 ounces left. Oh, right at 2 ounces left, as I made a little heart. And now I'm gonna try to just use up my red with some extras. Squeeze this a few times to try and get it in there. Do it a couple of times. Nothing sucks more than having such a beautiful mold and a flower and then find out that you've got a tip that is completely gone because of an air pocket. All right, so that one is done. And that took 1 ounce. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my little cup and fill him up. And I'm guessing that took about a half an ounce. Yes, a little less than a half an ounce. And then I guess I will make some more hearts. Okay, clean out this one. There is a red stain on it. I don't know how it dropped. Oh, another glob. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my glue is old. I will just end up pouring some of that into this one over here. I don't know what's going on with that glue. All right, the best way to do that is, let me think, because I've never had this happen before. I guess I can like scoop it up and drip it over. There it is. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can help me and let me know why it did that. I know it's supposed to help suspend everything, but I've never ran into that where it's super gooey like that. I'm just going to clean up the edge now so that less cleanup afterwards. And then before I demold, I will have a piece of tape and I'll go around and clean up all these little pieces. I do have a little bit of white. I'll just notice I am going to just drizzle some white in since am now short on that one. And then mix it in just a little bit. All right, so I am going to go ahead and clean this up. Oh, I forgot. I did want to do, before I demold, I wanted to pour this heart one, do the back coat on here, because I wanted to try with all the colorful glitter that I used yesterday. I wanted to try the Dianca Pours. Try to get the light to get it. It is a velvety, like a peacock blue, and they call it Venom. Gorgeous, gorgeous color. And I wanted to mix it and use this as my backing for that, just to see what it looks like with all the glitter on the front. Oh, is this, I mean, this is like my favorite, my new favorite, this Venom. It's like a black, green, teal. Oh my gosh, it is heaven. Gorgeous. All right, I don't know if you could see it. It's got the black. Dianca Pours colors are spectacular. Pulls a little bit green in my resin here, compared to what the powder is, but oh my gosh, like I said, it's my new favorite. It's the Venom. And I don't have much on here. I just want to top it off. Okay, and I made up 6 ounces. As you can see, I'm not very good at trying to guess how much everything is supposed to be. And I have 4 left, so that only took 2 ounces. Great. So since that's 4 ounces, I'm going to try and find a little character, and we'll pour him, and then I'll be back for the entire demold. Thank you so much, and we'll see you for demold.
Okay, let's go over what happened during this pour. So I did have a little bit of a mishap with pouring my heart tray with all the hearts around the edge. I did overdome it, so it kept leaking. Um, I did put a popsicle stick underneath it, but once I broke the dam, it was like constantly leaking, and it was tough to get it to stop leaking, but I dealt with that. And then my other issue that I had was that I didn't know my measurements. And I know that that comes with time and practice. So I'm giving myself a break on that, because what I would do is I would make 10 ounces, pour 6. I had 4 left. Said I was going to do another thing. So I made up another 6 ounces, ended up with 4 ounces, same amount. So I got to get better at doing that. Otherwise, I just keep pouring things until I eventually run out. I did pour, I don't believe I showed this at the end. It's a little axolotl. I had this beautiful blue color that I backed my other heart tray with. And then I had some leftovers. 4.4 ounces was my lucky number last night when I was pouring these. Everything ended up being 4 ounces. So I did pour an extra mold on that, but still learning how to dome, not to overdome, not to underdome, and then trying to get the best measurement for the mold so that I'm not overdoing it. But lessons learned. So here's to next time that I can get the correct measurements and not overdome. But all in all, I had a fun time pouring, and I hope that you enjoyed these molds. I haven't seen the heart-edged mold at all, nor the plant sticks. So I enjoyed doing those, and I haven't demolded yet. So I'm looking forward to my son. My son's nickname was Teddy Bear. So this one here with the teddy bear and the heart. Where's the heart? Right here. I'm looking forward to demolding to see what it's like. And his favorite color was red, so I got a special one for today. So again, if you enjoyed my video, please consider subscribing to help my channel grow. I do want to do this. I am going to be going to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My mother just had surgery. She had ovarian cancer. So she did have surgery to remove everything on the insides and stuff. So I'm going back there to take care of her. So I won't be having a video for a few weeks. Once I just started and now I'm going to take a break, but that's life, I guess. So I will not be on for a little while. And then when I come back, I do want to do this once a week at least, just to get me going and to get that learning curve going a little bit better. So again, if you do like what you see, please subscribe and help me grow. And then also like the video. And then also if you can comment, if you have any suggestions for me, I would gladly welcome them. I am new. Everybody who does this, on the videos, it looks so easy. And when you go to do it, it's like over pour. Um, okay, that was, doming's harder than, than it actually looks because if you do too much, you know what happens. So any help would be greatly appreciated. And again, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you and you have a blessed day. Thank you.
Okay, it is demold time. So let me move some stuff to the side and start with the littler ones first. Uh-oh. These little bows are so adorable. I believe I got these off of Temu. Very adorable. They are a matte mold, so the glitter didn't show up too much. Hold on one second. Alexa, turn on study light. There we go. Nice, simple mold. Like I said, use them as embellishment on your characters. Oh, I was supposed to clean this mold up. I had the big old goop of glue that came out on this mold. And I still have to figure out if anybody has any insight as to why such a big gloop of the glue would come out like in a chunk like that. I know it's supposed to get, thicker and stuff, but that was really bad. So I don't know what happened on that one. So, but if you can let me know. So that is the bows. And then for an extra, mostly all of this is mostly extra, I did pour this flower And this did have glue in it as well. So hopefully I don't have massive bubbles. And it came out perfect. Oh my goodness, quite surprised. This mold is so intricate with raised petals and different dimensions on here. Absolutely beautiful. This might be my favorite flower mold. And this even had the glue, so with no bubbles, I'm quite surprised. Very nice. The next one will be my little free mold from Molds and Shapes when I did an order. I just used the red because I had the extra. Oh, is that cute? Cute, 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 cute. Put my daughter's name on here and give it to her as like a purse charm. Very cute. Does need some sanding on the back side. Very cute. Nice and sparkly. So far, good to go. Here are these little hearts from pouring your heart out from Julie Cuts. These are like the best hearts I have ever seen. They are rounded and they've got the nice little hoop on there. She did a really good job forming these. It's another one. And I believe these are just the red. No, they're just the red. My camera's backwards to me this time. I keep going to the other side. Beautiful pale blue one. And then a light pink. There is a little bit of a purple hue to it, which is really pretty. I did use, let me see if I can find it. It was a Starry Night. The Starry Night colorant is what I had put into it. Starry Night, like it wasn't the red. I don't know what I did with my purple one, but that's what gave that little bit of a purplish hint of purple on that. Those all came out nice. I do have to clean that one. And then let's do these plant stands, or the plant. These are gorgeous. The little angel face, and then the detail. And then what I'm planning on doing is just like sticking these in my plants. I'll show pictures at the end. They are very thin, so they are fragile. So there's the second one. Very pretty. And then the last one. So all three of those. Let me put a white background behind it because it kind of blends in with my mat that I have down. Actually, let's go this way, and then you can see the whole thing. Very cool. Very nice. Let's just move them over. All right, and then this is the little axolotl from I believe it's from Let's Resin. It's with their, I think it's the squishy molds. I could be mistaken. I'm not sure. It's been a while. I do love this mold because it is super soft. Super easy to demold these kind of molds. Just want to pull around his gills so I don't crack them. Then I'm going to push the head through and then spin it out. All right, that's a little bit more black than I thought it would be, but he's adorable. I don't know if those are holes or if it's just the way that the light's hitting them. But nothing, no big major chunks gone, no huge holes. It's the sweater pattern. Absolutely adorable. Like I said, a little bit more black than what I thought the color. This was the Venom. I do have some sanding. So you could see the blue under there, but because it was a matte mold, it did come out. You could see the blue. It's very hard to see on camera. He's adorable. Fix him up and see. If it was a flat one, you could put the little bow on the axolotl. Very adorable. All right, let's do my little teddy bear. Same type of mold, very soft. And I don't remember where I got this one from. Turn my mold right side. Okay. Oh, is he adorable? Oh my goodness. No bubbles. Oh, is that an adore? And then you can put, you know, whatever you want. It's fairly deep. It's a fairly deep mold to put, you know, whatever you want, a flower. My son gave me I do have a bubble here and a little bubble here, but you really can't tell because they're flowers. So if I just file that down and file this down, it'll take care of that. But my son always gave me forever. Like he gave me a forever teddy bear, and then he gave me a forever rose. His thing was forever, not knowing that he would have not be here forever. But I treasure those. And this is kind of like his bear that he gave me was a forever bear, all in roses. So this is absolutely adorable. I'll take some pictures. I'll put some flowers in here. Very cute. And again, you could put a little bow on his bum. Very cute. So happy with this pour so far. All right, so now this one I got off of Etsy. I was doing some looking through on some of my accounts to see if I can find some of these molds, because like I said, I haven't seen anybody pouring these ones. So just in case anybody was interested, I was trying to find it. I did find out that I did put it on my Etsy page. Not my Etsy page. I did find it on my Etsy account. And I'll show you the mold up close so you can see what it looks like. So there's a little bit of a druzy in there. And then it's got almost like a slate rock edge. I love this mold. All right. So I did put the Venom from Dianca Pours on the back. And then on the front, oh, is that pretty? Rainbow color of the glitter. Very pretty. And the glitter did come up to the rock edge because I was going to fill it with something different until I saw this color, but I'm okay with that. I'm not perfect yet, but this is so pretty. I love the druzy part on here. Then you can put like a sticker or something over here if you want. And then to top coat wouldn't be hard because there is a little bit of a lip. So if you're going to top coat, it does have that little bit of the top where it won't run over into the rocks. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. No, I don't have to sand this one. That is nice. And these, I don't usually like the rock edges or the druzy edge because they're so sharp, but this is not bad. Not bad at all. I really like this mold. And Valentine's Day coming up, I'm gonna have to make some of these. Actually, I won't be in town, so probably won't be able to. Now, the one that I've been worried about because I domed it too much and I had a lot of leaks. But let's see how it turned out. I love this sound. Still a little bit bendy. Piece of dog hair. And this is this mold, all druzy, and then the hearts all around it. Beautiful mold. All right, so right here is where I had the over pour, not the over pour, but the leak. Oh, I like this. I like this. Wish this wasn't as globby, but the silver glitter, and then the red, and then some white. That is so pretty. I do have a bunch of little tiny micro holes because I did not go around with my tip, my little point, to get rid of those. Lessons learned. But this is so pretty. All the shimmer and glittery effect. Not too bad. I just got to clean up some of the edges. Don't have to worry about the back. There's no lip. I just have to worry about this one where it poured out, unfortunately. So lessons learned is to go around with my dotting tool on these hearts, because you do get air bubbles there. And that is all I have for today. So I will go ahead and paint some faces on these guys. And then I'm not sure if I will line this in the hearts in white, because that might accent the bubbles that I have. Like I said, I do have a lot of them. We shall see.